Everybody, and welcome back, and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League with W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. Not that we need much of that at the minute. It is brass monkeys out here, not in Kyoto. If you look at that picture, you can see we've got a lovely blue sky, a bit of cloud up there, but it looks nice and warm. Yeah, you look at that picture and then look out your window. So I would suggest you go and get yourself a nice cup of tea or a hot coffee or chocolate or whatever it is you fancy. Get this one on pause, get yourself a brew, get sat down and buckle up for race 2. This is our Saturday championship. I've already mentioned we are in Japan, we're in Kyoto at the Yamigiwa plus, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, is it Yamigiwa or Yamagiwa? Yamigiwa plus Miyabi track, so it's a combination of 2 tracks, and it makes up 4 miles and 19 turns of tarmac. So we've just seen race 1, in which Fitzy totally dominated, with Stormfly coming in second just behind, and Grasshopper, who just suddenly woke up and decided he was going to have a race for the last few laps, and came in third. It looks like we've got a reverse grid for race 2. I thought they always did it at race 3, but then again, oh no, it is race 2. I've actually got it written down. Wow, look at me, how organised am I? Race 2 is a reverse grid. So I don't know, race 3 could be just draw names out of the hat, who knows. This is race 2. It is a reverse grid, so let's have a look, shall we? And see what we have. We've done the grid walk in race 1, so I'm not going to do that now, but we will just do a reverse look at the cars so you can see who's where. So Sid the Sloth is on pole position now, with Ninky just behind him in second. Stealthy's third, Rufus fourth, Brian the Mechanic is fifth, Phaser is sixth, Pete is seventh, Dirk is eighth, Unforgiven ninth, Osman is 10th, Grasshopper 11th, Stormfly in 12th, with Fitzy, as I've already mentioned. Race 1 winner is now in 13th, and he's got a lot of cars in front of him, so he's going to have to be on it if he wants to win this one. Now, I also believe, or I've been told, I think that the tyre wear was turned off for races 2 and 3, because the Japanese tracks, especially around here, do actually destroy tyres. So they've turned it off. Maybe they should have left it on, and well, that's what racing's about, isn't it? But that's just my opinion, and what does that count for? Don't answer that, we all know. We'll get this one underway, shall we? We will get Sid the Sloth to take us across the start-finish line and into the left-hander of turn 1, which is where you start to lose a lot of rubber straight away. It is a very fast left-hander. Everybody jostling for positions. We've just seen Brian the Mechanic there having a bit of a look up at the inside of Rufus. It looks like Ninky's trying to go around the outside. Sid the Sloth has already gone off. Oh, and Brian the Mechanic's gone off. And who's that that followed him? I think it was Phaser. So still no change up at the front at the minute. Ninky's lost it. Ninky has lost it and had a massive kiss with Barrier. Let's go back and have a look and see what happened to him. People are all over the place. Brian the Mechanic on the grass. I think he's just took too much curb. Yeah, oh, there he goes onto the grass, and then he's pirouetting. Kiss Barrier across the track. Another kiss with Barrier the other side. Good job he ghosted as well. And we've got Stealth that's gone off as well, so it is all kicked off in this opening couple of corners as Stealth, well, you can just see Ninky up ahead. Ninky's he's all over the place. Stealth, I think, has tried to avoid him and slammed into the barrier as well. So that's both Porsches having a disastrous first start, and Stealth, I think he's got a record there for the amount of 360 turns on a straight bit of tarmac. Let's just watch that again. Let's see how many he manages. So that's 1, there's 2, and 3. Oh, 2. We'll give him a third for that one, and a lot of smoke from the tyres as well. So well done to Stealth for that. He managed to get at least 2.5 360 turns in there. So let's go back up to the top, shall we, and see what's happening as Sid the Sloth He's leading the pack, and he's got Rufus chasing him down, and Rufus looks like he's made the move on him at the inside, and he has. So Rufus goes through now to take the lead as Sid the Sloth drops into second as they go around turns 8 and 9. Osman is up there in third. He fancies having a bit of a lead of this race. Phaser just tucking in behind Osman, trying to get under his rear wing, a bit of a slipstream in. It is all mayhem kicking off behind. Grasshopper is up into 5th, Stormfly is 6th, Peter is 7th, Fitzy gone from 13th up to 8th. He'll be thinking about the tyre situation again, I'm sure, so you don't want to be pushing too hard too early, although Fitzy's having a look at the inside of Pete already as they go into turn 13. We have not even completed a lap yet, and it is all kicking off. Unforgiven down in 9th. He's got Derg, his usual nemesis, right alongside of him. So it's the two GTRs having a battle into turn 16. Brian the mechanic just sat behind him. He can't get by because the guys are blocking the road as Sid the Sloth comes back on. So he's had a bit of an off and has come back on, but it is still Unforgiven and Derg side by side as they go into the chicane, and it looks like Unforgiven just gave that one up, and Derg now moves up into 8th with Unforgiven 9th, Sid the Sloth 10th, Fitzy's down in 11th. What happened to Fitzy? He was moving through the pack, wasn't he? Let's just have a look. Did something happen? It looks like it did. This was the move that Fitzy was making at turn 13 at the... he got through Phaser. He got by Phaser. Oh, just too much power in the back end has come round on Fitzy, so that's why he's ended up where he is. Let's just get back up to where we were, and we're going to have a look back up at our race leader, who is currently Rufus, and I'll say currently because it seems to be changing all the time. Rufus has he's got Osman all over the back of him. Let's jump on board with Rufus, and that's what he's looking at when he has a look in the mirror, and it's the genesis of Osman. But Rufus doing a great job at the minute, out in front, and well, trying to forge ahead, isn't he? I was going to say he's picking up the purple sectors, but it is only lap 2. Everybody gets purple sectors on lap 2 for some strange reason. So that's Rufus out in front with Osman just sitting behind him. Phaser has made his way up into 3rd. Now he's got a little bit of a gap now back to Grasshopper. Grasshopper, if you remember in race 1, just suddenly woke up and came to life, but he looks like he's on it this time. He's got Stormfly all over him now. It was the other way around in race 1. Grasshopper was putting the pressure on Stormfly, but this time round it is Stormfly trying to put the pressure onto Grasshopper. Now the tyre wear has been changed, but it does look like some of the guys have changed tyres. So does that make an advantage for... oh, I don't know, I'm not even going to bother thinking about it, but yeah, it does look like the tyre rule of mediums must be used in at least one of the races is still standing. So Stormfly putting the pressure on Grasshopper as we go in around turn 13. Pete sitting in 6th, although he's got Derg challenging him. Brian the mechanic and Unforgiven behind, and so Pete has got some defending to do because he has got some very quick guys just sat on his tail. Derg in 7th, he'll be looking to try and get by Pete, I think, and hopefully Pete can hold up the likes of Unforgiven and Brian the mechanic, but Pete at the minute doing a great job of holding Derg, although Derg goes for it. Oh, he goes all the way around the outside around turn 16. Now that did not go according to plan, did it, for Derg? You need to get on the brakes nice and early for this turn, really. And Derg he tries to get the undercut, I think. Goes around the outside into the chicane. Pete defending. Oh, now maybe there was a little bit of a touch there. I don't know. Derg all out of sorts into the chicane. Now that's his battle over with, because he slowed right up, and I think he is waiting for Pete as Fitzy goes through. Pete goes through. So was it Derg's fault? I don't know. Maybe that's one for the stewards to have a look at. But Derg did the right thing and waited to give Pete the place back. But in doing so, that has put him all the way down to 10th. So we've had a change up at the top now. I've just noticed that Osman has managed to get by Rufus. So Osman is now the new leader of this race. We are just over 5 minutes into this 15-minute second race. And Osman is just looking to get away, isn't he? He's trying to put some distance between himself and Rufus, although you do not want to be grabbing too much of them curbs and grass, Mr. Osman, because you will find yourself facing the wrong way if you do take too much. Rufus is just going to stick in there, try and sit on Osman's coattails. They're both on soft tyres. So Rufus just needs to follow Osman around. Keep that BMW under control, although he's doing a good job so far. Phaser sitting in third. He's looking in his mirror and he can see Grasshopper and Stormfly. Now these two had a bit of a fight towards the end of race one, and it looks like that fight has continued. Stormfly really putting the pressure on Grasshopper. All of this is great for Phaser because well, I was going to say it allows him to get away, but he's not really. I think these two fighting is actually making them catch up to Phaser. So Grasshopper he's doing a good job. He's keeping Stormfly behind him. He's defending well. Stormfly looking for any opportunity he can, but has that McLaren got the grunt to get by this NSX? He needs to get in the slipstream, does Stormfly. They are now just coming around turn 16, so 3 more turns to go, and then we're on to the start-finish straight. I'm going to stay with them, because if Stormfly can get in the slipstream, he may be able to make a move on Grasshopper before they get to turn 1. So into turn 19 they go. Grasshopper doesn't really need to defend that one, but this is where Stormfly needs to get right up underneath the rear wing of Grasshopper, and I don't think he's going to be close enough. He didn't get the best of exits out of turn 19, and you can see there that Grasshopper in the NSX is he's looking comfortable up ahead. Stormfly in this McLaren. The McLaren is a great car to drive. It is nice and steady. It's not the quickest, but it's pretty stable through the turns, and I think that's where Stormfly is making up ground on the NSX through the tighter turns especially. The McLaren might not have the beans to keep up with the NSX in a straight line, but he can certainly do it through the turns, and you can see he's already made ground on Grasshopper. We just have a look behind us, and well, there is nothing except rolling mountains and blue sky, so Stormfly can just fully concentrate on trying to put Grasshopper under a lot more pressure than he needs to be. Around turn 9 they go, using every inch of the track. We can just see Phaser up ahead. They can't quite get close enough to Phaser. Grasshopper will be thinking about it now though. He will be trying to work out the best place to overtake Phaser if he gets the opportunity. So we'll leave these two to it for a little while. Unforgiven in 6th position. Well, he is all on his own, isn't he? Everybody's deserted him. I'm sure he won't mind. He's in 6th position, and the nearest to him is Fitzy in 7th. Fitzy on those medium tyres. Started in 13th, so can't really complain actually. He's made up, what was it? 6 places. My maths is terrible. So Fitzy's gone from 13th to 7th. We have about 6 minutes left, so still time for him to make up a little bit of ground, but he's got to catch up to Unforgiven, and then we've got the likes of Stormfly, Phaser, etc. in front. Pete, he's in 8th. He's having still having a fight with Derg. Remember, them two had a bit of a coming together in exactly that spot, the chicane, a couple of laps ago, and you can see the damage on Pete's car where he's hit something. Derg was one of those somethings earlier on, but these two still fighting it out. Then we've got Brian the mechanic in the Lamborghini. He's in 10th still. He's on his own. He's not under any pressure. Ninky in 11th. Sid the Sloth is 12th, and then poor old Stealth down in 13th. And well, this race is up for him. He needs this one to finish. on the medium tyres. That Porsche is a real handful as well. Look at the damage down the left-hand side of that car. This Porsche used to be one of the go-to cars. It was very steady, but now it just tries to kill you as often as it can. And you can see that car was sort of black and blue, well, literally black and blue, but now it's got all sorts of white and scratches and scrapes on it. But I'm sure the mechanics will sort that out ready for race 3. The back up to the top then, Osman opening up quite a decent gap between himself and Rufus. Rufus having the race of his life though here in Kyoto, currently second with about 4 minutes, just a little over 4 minutes to go. So a bit of a gap from Rufus back to Fazer. Fazer's still in third. He'll be loving this, and with Grasshopper and Stormfly still battling, although they are getting very close. So Grasshopper will definitely be thinking about where he can overtake Fazer, and what he would like, I'm sure, is to get Fazer in between himself and Stormfly. Just if Fazer can hold Stormfly up. A slight mistake there from Fazer, went a little bit deep, which has allowed Grasshopper through. Grasshopper has made it as they just got to the chicane, and that was the perfect place for Grasshopper to overtake, just as they entered the chicane. And I think Stormfly is going to go through as well, but no, Fazer is fighting back. Fazer has gone all the way around the outside of Grasshopper. It is GTR against NSX, with the McLaren just sitting behind, and it looks like the NSX has just got 1 or 2 more beans than the other 2 cars around him. Although Stormfly goes up the inside of Fazer into turn 1. Fazer fighting back though. Now they've done a bit of a switcheroo there, and Fazer has ended up on the inside. Grasshopper has gone through and is into third. Fazer battling it out with Stormfly as they go through this sort of section bit of turns 3, 4 and 5. Start on down the hill towards turn 6, this big sweeping left-hander. Why am I watching Grasshopper? Is these two we want to watch. Fazer just managing to get ahead of Stormfly as they go through turn 6. Stormfly is pushing, he is using every inch of the track. Fazer having a fantastic race. He must be loving it out there, as well as sweating his doodahs off under the helmet in that car. But he is loving it. Fazer seems to get better and better with every race I watch. And I think I will be racing against him on Wednesday in the Beetles for the Beatlemania Championship. And well, looking at him now, he is definitely going to be a contender soon. He's managing to hold off Stormfly, and this is exactly what Grasshopper wanted. This is what I was talking about earlier, that Grasshopper needs to get Fazer in between himself and Stormfly so that he can pull away. Stormfly is not going to be able to challenge Grasshopper now with 2 minutes to go. So unless Grasshopper does something drastic, Fazer really doing a great job for Grasshopper in keeping Stormfly behind him. We'll just go down the grid, shall we? Unforgiven is sitting in 6th with Fitzy. Fitzy's got a little bit closer. I was going to mention the tyres, but the tyre wear has been switched off, so they all look like they've got brand new fresh tyres on. But Fitzy in 7th. Derg is in 8th. He's managed to win the battle between himself and Pete. Pete down in 9th. Then we got Brian the Mechanic, Ninky, Sid the Sloth, and then Stealth. So we are just approaching the final minute. Our race leader Osman looking very comfortable. He has really got some distance between himself and Rufus now. Rufus having a brilliant race, and yeah, really pleased for Rufus. Up there on the podium at the minute with a minute to go, so just keep it on the tarmac, Rufus. Keep it facing the right way. I'm not going to try and curse you, we'll concentrate on somebody else, shall we? Grasshopper in the NSX in P3 at the minute. Fazer though sitting in 4th. He was in 3rd for most of this race, and it looks like he's actually catching up with Grasshopper. Stormfly just sitting there in 5th, being very frustrated. Can't get by Fazer. Fazer having a fantastic race. He's defended when he's had to. and he's not put a foot wrong really in my eyes. And yeah, great racing from Fazer. Still in fourth with Stormfly chasing him down. So we're going to go up and see where Osman is now. Oh, let's just have a look at the finishing. Sid the Sloth has finished in 12th. Stealth will cross the line in, well, let's have a look. We'll see where everybody is. Right, there's Osman. So who is that is approaching? Whoop. So Sid the Sloth has finished, Stealth has finished, Sid in 12th, Stealth in 13th. Let's go all the way back up then. So I'm still getting myself all confused now. Somebody else will be crossing the line very shortly. I think it's going to be Ninky. No, it's not. We'll stay with Osman. Managed to get by Rufus, never really looked back after that, did he? He was away and running, and he wasn't going to be caught. As he goes around turn 19, he can see the checkered flag. Will we get a flash of the lights? No, just very cool. I've won, have it. Rufus in second, brilliant race from Rufus. He'll be pleased with that. I'm pleased for him for that. Grasshopper will cross the line in third, but the race is on for fourth, and Fazer and Stormfly going at it neck and neck, and I think Fazer just got ahead of Stormfly. Well done to Fazer. Stormfly in fifth, Unforgiven sixth, Fitzy seventh in the end after his spill, eighth for Derg. Pete, right, Pete going to cross the line in ninth. He's being pushed along by Brian the Mechanic, but I think that's where they're going to finish, with Pete in ninth. Brian the Mechanic is 10th. Ninky, well, oh dear, he's had a bit of a nightmare, hasn't he, Ninky? The Porsche just has not performed on this track. So Ninky will finish in 11th, with Sid the Sloth 12th and 13th for Stealth. I think that the races of this, well, the second race is really got to hand it to Rufus and to Fazer. Both of them had fantastic races. Taking nothing away from our winner, Osman. Once he got in front, there was no looking back. He was away and running. But brilliant racing for race 2. So join me very, very shortly for race 3.